In some ways, today's topic is very simple and straightforward. We're approaching, rapidly approaching October 2025 when there's a change in the support strategy for Microsoft towards Excel, and that's really the pivotal point in this presentation. We'll be sharing a few nuances today to that situation. And so we jump right in here and talk about that. And the point is that in October 14th to be exact, there will be an end of support for Office 2016 and 2019. This has been announced and mentioned before in the context of BEx, specifically BEx Analyzer, which is the Excel component as far as a front end for BW, and then the corresponding correlation of functionality in broadcasting that's also impacted by this change in Excel. SAP doesn't have plans, of course, to continue development in BEx. Things have changed dramatically in terms of the Office infrastructure and support of application development in Office tools. And so as a result, Office 2016, 2019 are really the end of the road for the Excel versions where we've developed BEx. And of course, Analysis for Office has been out for approaching 15 years now. So we've also had an alternative for quite a long period of time. As a result, the following solutions are impacted. BEx Analyzer, of course, BEx Workbooks, which the Analyzer pops its content into, and then the BEx Broadcaster as mentioned. And we give some idea of what the direct replacement path is for these. And of course, we would suggest SAC as a more strategic offering in terms of how you would host that Analysis for Office solution. But of course, our Business Objects offering is still alive and well. We just last year introduced BI 2025, which will extend that longer than was anticipated in years prior to our announcement mid of last year. There's a corresponding SAP note that's indicated here just to give you some of the details and the late breaking news. It has been updated recently with some nuanced details. We'll cover some of those here, but of course, good to take a link to this note and keep track of it if BEx Analyzer is still in your world and this Excel topic is a centerpiece of discussion. Interestingly, there are some members of the BEx family, specifically the Query Designer, the Web Analyzer, and then the BEx Web Application Designer, which are not impacted because, of course, they're not Excel dependent, but they still do have a timeline for their own end of maintenance, end of life, and a maintenance course being 2027, end of life in 2030, as is mentioned here for those tools as well. I talked about the fact that there is a specific end of maintenance. This is the official Microsoft notification, so this is not SAP imposed. It's simply part of the lifecycle management of the Office and Office 365 solutions. We have been giving an indication of this for quite some time, approaching 10 years now, with the announcement of this BEx sunset in a 2016 blog, and then the corresponding update of the note that I pointed out in 2018, specifically with the introduction of BW for HANA back in late 2015. It seemed to correlate with because BEx is no longer supported on BW for HANA, that there was a discussion to be had there during the ramp up to that on-prem solution and the corresponding front ends that would be required as part of that new offering at the time. Of course, now roll it forward 10 years and we've got other solutions in play, especially in the public cloud. But this conversation still lingers, and we know that we've got a fair number of customers that still have BEx in play. And we'll talk a little bit about how to self-identify if you're not sure if you're one of those customers here in a couple slides. This next slide gives us some indicators of what the overall roadmap is. This is the big picture of which BEx Analyzer course fits into. Just to give you a reference slide for your purposes in terms of guidance. And of course, this is published and updated out on SAP.com on a regular basis in the communities section. You'll see this link from our product management folks, just to be sure that you keep most current and up to date.